In August 2015, I was driving from Hobart to Devonport to catch the ferry back to Melbourne when I dropped in on the Dineen ancestral home at Carrick in sort of Midlands, Tasmania. I drove in, had a look at the town, went and had a visit to the cemetery, stopped by the Liffey River and had a bit of a look around. So this video is that. It's just a very quick visit in August 2015. If you've managed to survive to this point and haven't found this too boring, you're going to find the next bit boring. So if I was you, I'd stop right now. Enjoy. So this is Carrick. It's in Tasmania. It's about 100 kilometres from Devonport. And I've stopped here because I have a genetic relationship to this town. Some great-great-great-grandfather whose name was George Dineen. He moved here from Baden in the Republic of Ireland. He was born in 1798 and he died here in Carrick in 1875 with his wife, who was Elizabeth Bickford. So let's have a bit of a look around Carrick if we can. Carrick is 17 kilometres west of Launceston. Carrick has a well-preserved 19th century heritage. 15 of its colonial buildings are listed on the Tasmanian Heritage Register, including Carrick House, which was built in 1840, St Andrew's Church, 1848, the Old Watch House, 1837, Mons Roller Mill, 1846, and the Carrick Hotel, 1833. Carrick's post office was opened on the 5th of November, 1841. The Anglican Church, St Andrew's, has held services since the 1840s. I'm in the grounds of the Anglican Church in Carrick, and let's have a look and see if I can find a Dineen at all in any of the headstones. Well, I've done a bit of a scout around the cemetery here in Carrick and can't find any trace of a Dineen in here at all. Not that I would imagine there'd be too many, because there was only one born here and two died here. But there's also lots of graves like this one behind me who have no markings at all, so there could be plenty. That could be an option for a Dineen, but nothing there today. The first land granted Carrick was in 1818, and a decade later William Bryan was building a wooden mill on the river's banks. The town was formed as a consequence of this mill's construction, and town plots started to sell in 1838. The bistro at the Carrick Inn is named after Sammy Cox. He claims to have left England on his uncle's ship after his father died, and jumped ship in 1789 near the Tamar Heads, where current Devonport is. He says that he then lived with the local Aboriginal people for about 26 years. This would have made him the first white settler in Tasmania, and in fact he would have been there even before the existence of Bass Strait was proved by George Bass and Matthew Flinders. He moved to the Carrick area in the 1860s and was a gardener and did other odd jobs around the town. The real story is that he was actually an escaped convict and made up the story to hide the fact that he'd been sent to Australia for some pretty horrific crimes. The 1846 stone building known as Mons Roller Mill is the town's most prominent feature. The operation of this mill and the preceding wooden mill was the foundation of the town's prosperity during the 19th century. The mill operated until 1924, for most of this time by Thomas Mons and his family. And so what do the Irish do when they come to Australia? Well, they name things after their homeland, don't they? So here we are at the Liffey River in Carrick in Tasmania. So my understanding of the George Dineen who came here from Baden in Ireland was that he came here as a policeman or as a trooper of some sort and was here in Carrick as a policeman. And there's also a bit of a family fable, if that's what you want to call it, about him arresting some well-known bushranger who was roaming the land of Tasmania here, or Van Diemen's Land as it was probably known in those days. And it reminds me of that wedding song about 6 convicts who tried to escape and get to Hobart Town so they could steal a ship and get back to the homeland. Well, the homeland for me, I suppose, is this is where one of my genes arrived in Australia, here in the town of Carrick in Tasmania.